Hi, Dr. Gold. This is Mitali, and thank you very much for listening to this video prompt, which is based on Simon's TED Talk, The Golden Circle. This is actually not the first time I have seen this video. It was part of one of our earlier assignments in the program, although didn't really make much sense to me back then. But now that I can say a year and a half into the program, watching the video again, it made total sense to me, the golden circle and working from the inside out. Um, and that's, in hindsight, probably how I came upon my TCP project was to really look at the why first. And being in the field of education, working with adult learners, that was not hard to do. I think of my own experiences, just to keep it short, as an immigrant growing up in this country, being told at a very young age in high school that you are not college material. Don't even bother, save your parents money, but more importantly, save yourself some time and pursue something else. Maybe you want to go to a tech school and get a certificate in something. And, when I think about those remarks, it was very hurtful. Absolutely, it was. But then I thought about it and I go, why is it that every time I study, the more I study, the worse I do? It didn't make any sense to me. Am I not studying the right things? How am I studying? Um, Clearly, memorizing concepts is not working out for me. There has to be a different way. Anyway, long story short, it wasn't until I was in grad school that I figured out how to study. There was no one showing me the way. I kind of had to learn it myself. So, looking at my TCP, I very much wanted um, to help students just empower themselves, give them knowledge. Knowledge is power, about their learning styles and how, if they apply those learning styles in their courses, they can be successful in as students. And why? Well, why? Because I want our students to look at school as a positive experience, which it wasn't for me, but I want something different for them. And also, these adult students, that's what they are. They're adult learners, have so much more than just going to school on their plate. They have family obligations. They work 40 plus hours a week. Many of my students are single moms. So how can they achieve their dreams? And why is that important for me? Well, because I want them to be in the best position possible to become great students. That's why I chose the TCP that I did. It's looking at a tool that assesses their learning styles. That's part one. But the more important part is, that's where the transformational change is, the workshops that they'll be coming to, these workshops, which will provide them information on how can you maximize your learning styles, how can you incorporate the strategies in your coursework. So that's really the why behind the why, the how, and the what of my TCP. And I'm going to stay true to that. As you know from what I've shared with you in this class, my TCP has hit a bump. Luckily, I was able to get through phase one, but in phase two now, because we've had some cutbacks at the university, we've had layoffs. Many members of my TCP team, their responsibilities have expanded, so they're no longer able to dedicate the same effort and time towards my TCP as they were before. There's been some rumblings with the senior leadership on maybe we can use this as a marketing tool to recruit students, and that loses the integrity of my TCP, which is a non-negotiable for me. I want the TCP to remain true to its purpose, which is to help our existing undergraduate students who've been admitted into the university. And I'm willing to stand my ground on this. I'm inspired by the students who have participated in the TCP, because they've told me, Matali, we actually do see an improvement in our grades because I'm tracking this data as well. I'm tracking their grades, I'm tracking their retention, and besides just what I see in numbers, even the students are telling me that they're seeing an improvement. They are, less overwhelmed. They are using these different strategies, and the results are positive. So I'm going to continue to stay true to the intent of the TCP. I'm not so high on the totem pole at the university, but that said, um, I do believe in in my TCP and its purpose, and so if it comes time, I will have to show the powers that be, the golden circle, and why this should not be used as a marketing tool. Thanks.